But next month will be the charm. That's the best I can tell you.
Say it till it's true.
Say it till it's true. Have no communications from the public, so I'd now like to introduce you all to Carlos Davalos,
Yeah.
who is our new this semester's UW Humanities Fellow, here to spearhead the expansion of our Spanish language programming. It is too early to ask him detailed questions about the program, but
We'll give him a month.
we'll give him. I thought it would be nice for us to meet him and give him a chance to say hi and tell us just a little bit about himself. And
Yeah.
what do you,
Thank you. So thank you so much. It's really great to be here. I was thinking about all the things that I had to do to get here. You know, not only getting into a PhD program, but getting into the United States as a Mexican reporter. And being here in this table, in this meeting, for me it's already success. So I appreciate the opportunity. I'm very happy. I feel like I landed in a place where I belong. Precisely, there's records, there's people that like music, there's people that are involved with the community, which is something that I've been doing since I can remember in Mexico City. So I'll start. I mean, there's so many things that I can share, but I heard you just now saying that you went to law school.
Mhm.
That's what I did too in Mexico City for 3 years. And I started reporting when I was a law student. So in Mexico, you can go from high school to law school directly.
Right.
So I did that, and long story short, I started publishing music reviews when I was still a law student.
Mm.
So that pushed me to switch to journalism school, and I started working on my first year. My first semester, I started reporting for the college radio station in Mexico City, and that was so long ago. It feels like another era. And then I started moving to print media, and I did radio and print media at the same time. And then a couple of years later, not a couple, like 4 or 5, I moved to the United States for the first time. So went to a journalism school, and since then I started working media or news industry jobs, but also music industry jobs in Mexico City before fully entering academia, which is, I guess, what I do now. Part of me is still thinking that academia for me was an accident, because all this time I've been a music person, and I've been just dealing with, with radio stations and with the music industry. So, I mean, I did jobs at fancy newsrooms. I was what they call label manager for Sony Music in Mexico. I also worked as a music supervisor for the person that I think in Latin America was the best music supervisor. She passed away last year. And then I moved to the United States. And in the United States, I worked in a couple of newsrooms too. But it's funny because in the United States, as a Mexican migrant, I naturally, for some reason, well, I know the reason, but I naturally gravitate towards contexts that have to do with human rights situations. So and that was the case in the Bay Area, that I worked with day laborers a lot. When I was in Austin, Texas, I worked at the Workers' Defense Project, which is, I think, one of the largest organizations working with undocumented construction workers. So I did a lot of work there, and the same thing here in Wisconsin. So aside from my work as a reporter or as a music journalist in the United States, I've done a lot of work that has to do with I try, or I say, human rights work. Very close to Mexican and Latino sisters and brothers that do not in general have documents. So that's what I do now. That's most of the things that I will be, I think, I need to talk to my editor here, but most of the things that I will be doing at WORT have to do also with building contacts and establishing links with the community here using Spanish, obviously, and also reporting experience that I think I have a little. So that's, I mean, I could, there's my editor right there.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, there's so many.
Hey, wait, you're there too.
Well, we are very excited to have you
Thank you,
and
Stu.
we're
Yeah, welcome.
and again, very appreciative of Shali's outreach and her initiative at working with the humanities and getting more fellows. And we know it's too early to ask you for a detailed program, what you got. I know you and Shali are going to work that, but I just wanted to give the board a chance to meet you.
Thank you.
And Shali,
I would
anything-
love to take the opportunity
Yeah.
right now to thank Shally that she's been so amazing to me and bringing me on and help, you know, and also the DNC opportunity that as a Mexican reporter to be in a place like that, that's golden. You know, that's a really, really great. So again, thank you so much, Shally, for everything. And to the board, thanks for having me. I'm
Well,
very, very
thank you.
happy to be
Thank
here.
you. This is gonna be great. We're really excited about this. And in a month or two, when you get, a program worked out, we'd love to hear more details when you and Shali are ready to come and let us know.
Absolutely, yeah. I think there will be a lot of things happening and excited to share all that with everyone.
Anything you want to add?
Just that I'm really excited to have Carlos, and these opportunities are also I'm grateful to the UW Center for the Humanities. I've said it before, they don't usually pick the same organization twice. So that is deeply appreciated to make this possible. Also, part of what they're looking for is an opportunity that not only they're looking for fellowships when they partner with organizations like us to expand capacity, not maintain capacity. And so as we look at other initiatives that we want to do, maybe not necessarily humanities, but that's what people like to fund is like, how can you grow something at the station and not maintain status quo? So Carlos and I have a professional development plan due at the end of the month. And so that's why we're like, can't answer all of your questions right now about what he's doing, but I think from what I got in the meeting, describe it accurately, then we can submit the outline of that to the board to hear.
Yes.
Whenever you're ready.
Like a position description. Actually, there is a position description. It's like 4 pages right now. And I think you should have that, but that outlines what I'm doing.
Thank you.
It's a whole in-person group.
We're on.
We have some people on Zoom. Laura's usually here in person.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
so much. Thank you.
Bienvenidos.
Gracias. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. Check it out.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. I don't think I have anything to report. I don't think the executive committee do anything last month.
A little bit
What did we do?
Might talk about that in closed session.
closed session
Closed
stuff.
session, okay. Yeah.
We
Did
do.
we-
Was there something apart from that? I
Did
think
we
that was
approve the minutes?
We haven't.
We have, I'm sorry, thank you.
I'm
We have,
just-
we have not, we have not.
Yeah.
Motion to approve, the August minutes. Somebody move.
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Me and Jeff.
Any questions, comments, or clarifications? Hearing none, they'll stand as submitted. Then moving on down to the treasurer's report. Laura,
Yes, just a second. Let me pull that up. So, we didn't have a finance committee meeting this month because of the pledge drive. Found that out like 24 hours before the committee meeting was supposed to take place. But I was able to work with Mary Joy on a few things instead. We did not get a Super Saver account opened. You remember we approved that last board meeting. But hopefully we will do this in the upcoming month. We're trying to meet with Dave, Mary Joy, and myself. We're trying to transfer some of the accounts that are in Dave's name over to Stu for a number of
When we
reasons.
say,
Pardon me?
I'm sorry, I just need this clarification because I saw it in the note. When we say in Dave's name or in Stu's name, do we really mean it's in WRT's name, but they're the signatories? Or are we really actually putting accounts in Dave or Stu's name?
I believe the accounts are actually in, I'm not certain about
Can
that.
can I jump in?
Dave,
Yeah.
please.
So the accounts for Heartland and
Ocean View?
no, Ocean View, the username for Ocean View is finance at WRTFM dot, well, just I think it's just finance at WRTFM.org. But I'm the guy who signs in for that. The other two, the two credit unions are WORT accounts. And whenever a new treasurer is brought on or something else changes, I set up a new account for them. Heartland only has a single sign-on, so we all have to share a single sign-on for Heartland. So it's
I'm sorry for getting distracted. When I hear it's someone's account, I'm gonna be a lawyer here. That means they own the account.
There are no accounts in our names.
All those accounts are in WRT's name.
Correct.
And you're just talking, David, about who has access to the account and can make changes in the account, right?
that's correct.
All right, fine. Then I can move on. And maybe it's just terminology, but
You're
it's
correct
important terminology.
to be exacting in your question. That's very important.
Okay.
There's a
Yeah.
recent
Sorry
story
for
from the Goodman Center that they've discovered some financial
Yeah.
irregularities and they're investigating those.
Big time.
WART has been extremely diligent in making sure that our accounting procedures satisfy the auditors and are safe. So
Right.
Laura, did you have more that you wanted to?
Yeah. So I really do want to get this cleared up. And I've never seen a statement from these accounts. I'm hoping to be able to make that stuff more accessible.
so
But I do not want the accounts to be in my name, or I don't want me to be the signatory for the accounts either.
the Summit and Heartland statements go into Google Drive every month. So
Yes,
they're actually
absolutely.
available to every board member if you go out there and look.
Yep.
Ocean View only does a statement once a year. And as those come through, I put them out on Google Drive as well.
Okay, that's the one that I was looking for. That's why I didn't think it was on the drive.
Okay, I'll look later after the meeting, and if it's not there, I'll make sure it gets there. So
Okay, hopefully, Dave, you and Mary Joy and I can have a meeting sometime soon.
exactly,
We've had several attempts at doing this and
things keep coming
they
up.
just didn't work out. So back to other things. I talked to Doug about the next year's budget, and just a heads up, October is when the staff will be working on the budget, and November is when the staff will be presenting their budget to the board and for approval, usually in December. So I wanted to give you a heads up on that. And I have been continuing the monthly treasurer reviews. I'm currently working on April of this year. So the reports, one of the other things that I'm doing is trying to simplify the dashboard. A number of the statements, I mean, we can have those statements, but I don't think we need to go over them every board meeting. I want to simplify the dashboard that we can open. You can look at some of the profit and loss statements and such if you want to drill down into this. But frankly, I think it's more than we can handle at a board level for the most part. So basically, I want to simplify it by just making expenditures and income statements, which you can find under Finance Committee reports. This is something Mary Joy and I had worked on. It's very similar to the pie chart that was available in the dashboard before. But I think what we're going to do is make PDFs of these every month so that there'll be a snapshot that's saved. Because right now these things change. They're kind of like running graphs, run charts. They change every month. But if we can bring in snapshots of each month that we can compare, month to month, we can see when we've had increased expenditures in any one particular segment. So I guess that's it. That's all I have.
Any question? Yeah, Jeff.
So I'm just hoping that by next meeting, we'll have some version of a dashboard that answers two basic questions on 1 or 2 pages for me as a board member who's not on the finance committee. Number 1, what is our general financial health? And number 2, a short-term, let's say 90-day forecast of anything to be concerned about. An optional number 3 is there anything to be concerned about for whatever reason? These expenses were much higher than we anticipated. This income is much lower than we anticipated, whatever. But that's the bird's eye view that I need to do my fiduciary responsibility. And I believe, frankly, we all do as board members, particularly those of us not on the finance committee, which is most of us. I'm not expecting that it's necessarily going to be like, oh, the perfect dashboard or snapshot. I honestly don't care what word you use next meeting. But if we have something to look at, then we can respond and say, oh, this is perfect. Or, oh, would you mind if you could get us this too in the future? So do you think that'll be possible for next month?
If you look at the notes on the graph, there's a pie chart for the expenses in that WORT Finance Committee report. I think the title may change on that, but if you look at that chart, you will see that there are notes that indicate items of interest to the board.
Where am I supposed to look for that?
Finance committee report. If you go to the link in under treasury report,
right?
If you
Finance committee report.
Yep. And then there are 2 tabs, one cash on hand and the other one is monthly expenses, July.
I see the monthly expenses, which I did not see before because I wasn't not a spreadsheet guru or even basic. Great. So that's helpful for getting that snapshot of where we're at.
And what I'm hoping to do is make these available, as a PDF so that you can go back month by month and make comparisons if you want.
Sure. So that's really helpful. And I actually did notice, I saw the cash on hand. I just didn't see the second tab. What the other two things I think are, short to medium term forecast, whatever you call 90 days or whatever.
Mhm.
And any issues we need to be concerned about, which could be none. And that's great if they're none. But hearing that from our treasurer, I reviewed this, there are no, in writing even, nothing to be concerned about, I will trust you,
Let me make that statement then. I don't think there's any, to the best of my estimation, my review,
Yeah.
there's nothing to be concerned about now.
Right.
We are towards the end of the budget cycle, which is follows the calendar year, and I don't see, there have been some major expenditures, but we've dealt with them. For example, the AC installation out at the transmitter, the A over IP. If you want to look at some of the run charts, you can see that cash on hand has gone down recently, but
Right, but it's still substantial.
yeah, exactly.
Right, good, I
We're-
did notice it. Thanks, Laura.
Okay, yeah, the information in these two spreadsheets is essential. And it's, I think it's pretty clearly laid out, it's color coded and everything.
If you look at some of those profit and loss statements, they're pages long and they are so detailed that I think they actually obscure more than they highlight.
Yeah.
This is
Thank
laid out very easily. So thank you. Then a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'd move we accept the treasurer's report.
Second,
Second.
whatever,
Further discussion?
pick one.
Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
I don't think we have any Doug. Doug, anything you want to say about your report as the only staff I think are with us right now?
Not really, just we've got a lot of events coming up, especially this week. We have a Friday night rock show at the Wisco. We have our underground stage on Sunday, and then we have a LGBTQ vinyl spin night at Delta Beer Lab on Tuesday night. And I'll be bringing my Bowie 45 of White Heat. Registration for Bolorama is now live on our website. You can register and pay online ahead of time to make check-in a breeze. Thanks to Tom Jones for getting that all set up to go through Square, so as not to interfere with other credit card donations that we take online through a different system. This way it will keep the income streams very separate and identifiable. Plus, I think it'll be really alluring for people to go ahead and get set up and get their lane reserved ahead of time before they even walk in the door. So really exciting change for Bolorama this year.
Okay, thank you. I can't read that. Can somebody tell me what that says?
This may be apocryphal, but I have read spreadsheet is an old hunting trapping term used, as Laura mentions, to obfuscate and hide tracks.
Huh, how about that? Well, okay, a little,
Kind of cool, I
a
didn't know.
little etymological information at a WORT.
I like it.
We are the intelligent radio station. Thank you for that, Phil. Anybody have any questions of Doug on his report? Okay, see none. The other reports are in as they should be. Anybody have any questions or comments about any of them? Again, just another shout out to Shali for the great initiatives and expanding the programming and getting partners, to partner with Pacifica on the two conventions and to get a second round of funding from UW Humanities. I mean, that's serious good work. So thank her for that. Even though she did yell at me for copying Humanities when I welcomed Carlos. I don't know what that was about.
What?
Maybe you needed a little yell in there.
I even looked it up to make sure that I had the proper Spanish as in the end, but what can you do? The kids say no respect. Anybody have any other comments about any of the other staff reports?
Oh,
What, oh, is that an LOL out of Doug? Yeah. Anybody have anything else? I mean, things seem to be working pretty well.
Yep.
Anybody have any?
Yeah, I've heard
Concerns about any-
nothing but good things about the pledge drive.
Yeah. And I'm not sure if Susan's sister passed away. After a very rough period. So she has been up in Minneapolis, I think in Minneapolis. But she was so attuned to her WORT responsibilities that she left folders and she left information. I mean, it was just, how people can compartmentalize and deal with that while they're also dealing with this. And I had a brief talk with Karen, and she says that she's got everything under control as well. So it was, and I think, I think, I told Susan to take whatever time she needed to make sure that she could attend to her family and deal with everything. So, but her sense of responsibility and professionalism to make sure that everything was in order, and she was even keeping track of stuff as she was away was she does a serious solid. So we're very appreciative of that.
I'd like to also thank the rest of the staff for stepping in and allowing the pledge drive to run as smoothly as it did, with Susan being only partially there.
Yeah. Everyone stepped up. Everyone stepped up big time. So thank you for adding that. And Doug, if you would convey to the rest of the staff our appreciation for how everyone did step up and
cover when we had another absence too.
sorry.
Yeah, we also had staff and phone answers out with COVID. So we were definitely hit from a lot of different fronts this pledge drive, and it was extremely challenging. Although I've built up enough comp time now that I think my trip to St. Louis and Memphis will be covered by comp time. So, but yeah, it was really great. Everybody really came together. It was really, it was a fun pledge drive. I can say that.
So please do convey to the rest of the staff our appreciation.
Absolutely. And the shows did, I mean, we came up a little short, but there was a lot of really good surprises in the show. I audited all the pledge folders, so I know how each show did. And there was some really great surprises in there, and also some new tactics on the part of hosts that did really well that we're excited to share with other hosts.
Good. Okay. Well, thank you.
Oh, Doug, I've got something for you. How did Center for Healthy Minds become an underwriter?
They emailed me.
Was it Heather Harris?
It was Heather Harris, who used to be my contact at Overture Center.
Yeah. Okay.
And now she's working with them. So yeah, it was Heather Harris that got a hold of me for that. It was great to hear from her. It had been a bit.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. That's so exciting. I love that they're underwriting.
Thank you. Any other comments anybody has on any of the other staff reports? Everyone seems to be proceeding orderly. Or anything anybody wants to ask or comment on the committee work group reports, because of the pledge drive policy. I think a lot of committees didn't meet this past month because everything was so occupied with
Well,
that. And
I can comment a little bit on the engineering committee, and hopefully Phil wants to take the DEI committee. He's the one who wrote the minutes.
okay, go ahead.
Phil,
Engineering?
did you see that?
Well, you start with engineering, then we'll hear from Phil.
Oh, engineering, sorry.
All right. And engineering, just quickly, we are still, basically it's a nucleus of Tom and David Klein, and myself, who are working on this last stage of the audio over IP. The tricky part of this is that it will affect, we will have to go off the air briefly for this to happen, because we're basically taking that last part of the audio train and disconnecting it and reconnecting it with the new equipment. So we are devising, we are testing this to the max, and we are devising ways to do this that fit into our schedule, where it should be, I guess, transparent is a good way to put it. It should be unnoticed by our listeners. It should just be a very brief little click, and probably the dead air will not be more than like a half a second. So I think this is going to happen next week, next month.
I have that regularly on my shows.
Yes, unfortunately, that is one of the times that we get together and work. But yeah, it's probably going to happen, and we will, have that last tie in the cross-country railroad, or however you want to put it. we will lay that last track for the audio over IP system next month.
Oh, someone haul out the golden spike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. And I want to welcome Jessica to the board meeting. Jessica, good to see you.
Hey, everybody.
Where are you?
I'm in, yes, I'm in Madison now. I'm back. I'm back from the dead, as so to speak. I apologize for my absence, you guys. It has been a whirlwind of conventions for me. But I did win my reelection, and then I was, thank you. And then I was able to attend the DNC. That was super fun. But anyway, I'm back, and hopefully more of a noticeable presence on the board. So thanks for being patient with me.
Well, thank you. It's good. It's good to have you back. And Laura has agreed to take over the treasury responsibilities for this term. We know that was.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So
Thanks,
thank you.
Laura.
And we're glad.
Thank you, Laura.
On your reelection and all the whirlwind activities, and we're very glad to have you back.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Phil, did you want to say anything about the DEI report, DEI activities?
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So DEI met on September 9th. It was primarily just a meeting of discussion, since we had a couple absences. But briefly, I think we continued discussing, recapping the results of the volunteer survey, and tried to start talking about next steps. I think one of the things that we did suggest is that the WORT website have a page sort of dedicated to generally the subject of DEI, where we can report on things such as the results of that volunteer survey and any future surveys, as well as include the date for the next scheduled meeting and an invitation for anyone who's interested to attend. I think we also began the process of talking about including a single question in the volunteer newsletters going forward, touching on some aspect of diversity and inclusion. And I think we are still in the process of discussing what those questions might be and the exact process that we'll use. Other than that, we did agree at our last meeting in August that with the press of Laura's other duties on the board related to being the treasurer and finance and so forth, that she would step down as the chair of the DEI committee. And I think for the time being, given that we only have 5 or 6 regular attendees, we would each take a turn being the sort of temporary chair for a month. And so this is sort of, I wrote up the minutes for our last meeting. I will be the chair of the September meeting, and then whoever volunteers to take the next meeting will probably be reporting to you next month.
Thank you, Phil, for stepping up.
Oh, sure. No problem whatsoever.
However, the group wants to organize its leadership is fine by us.
So it's a committee. It's not a work group. And we do, I don't honestly care, but do our bylaws permit either no chair or a rotating chair?
The bylaws provide that the president can designate a temporary chair to organize the committees, but then the committees choose their own chair. So if the committee wants to choose a rotating chair or a chair upon which to rotate, it can do so.
Okay.
We'll have a chair that just spins.
Yeah, right.
That's a lazy Susan chairmanship. That's fine. Absolutely.
Right. Bar stool.
Yeah.
Perfect for Wisconsin.
Yep.
The only other minor football, I don't know why, but at least on my Google Drive, the DEI committee minutes won't open. It says I need to request access. It's probably a setting in the document.
Yeah.
I'm the one who put the link in. I'm sure it's something I did wrong.
Not a big deal.
Just off the agenda, it didn't open up?
No, I've done it
Mine did.
multiple times, and it says
President.
request and you need access.
Thanks for pointing that out. Otherwise, I'd never know.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, not a big deal.
And Doug, is Tom who the DEI should work with to get that page happening on the website?
A funny thing, page already exists on the website because we have to include our community representation statement on our website according to the CPB requirements.
Okay.
And I think this would be a great place to include the efforts of the DEI committee because part of that community representation statement, and we can name it, the page, whatever we want, but they want to see your annual efforts toward DEI. It's just on a national level. They're not allowed to call it DEI anymore because of pushback. So now they're calling it community representation.
Gotcha.
However, for us, if we want to continue calling it DEI, we have every right to continue calling it DEI. It's just there has been, and I will say it's in more southern states where it has required this kind of nomenclature change because of people putting up a stink. So, but short answer, yes, there is a place for it on the website. And number 2, I can definitely add things as needed to the website page. Because I have full access to the website, so we can make that happen as needed.
Okay, so Phil, DEI should work with Doug to expand the web presence of DEI. Yes, Laura.
I just wanted to point out that there's been a fair bit of that kind of anti-DEI wrangling here in the state of Wisconsin. You would especially notice this if you worked at the University of Wisconsin.
Yeah. We're going to ignore it. We're going to ignore it. Okay, thank you for that, Phil and Doug and Laura. What is that additional?
Oh, that's me. I just linked up what Doug was speaking of.
Oh, great.
From the site.
Okay.
So folks can take a look.
Oh, thank you.
You know, Julia, I finally figured out that you were in both places.
Oh, sorry.
I
Yeah,
literally
that's
had to
why.
pull up the
Like
board
that.
sheet. Like, look at, I'm like, because,
I just like
all right,
sharing stuff like that.
you know, I'm slow to catch on, but.
Okay, thank you for that, Phil and Laura. Anybody have anything else they want to ask, comment? Oh yeah, Jessica.
Yeah, I'm so curious about this because actually I just got into it with somebody as well on DEI. I got like all sorts of attacked on it, and so what is the issue with DEI?
Republicans.
Can it,
Oh, I said that out loud.
yeah, that's why I was attacked by. But can somebody boil it down? Because I know what the argument was that this person was making to me, but I'm just wondering if it's the same argument. Must be on like Fox News or something somewhere. But
it's racism. I mean, it's just,
that's
I mean,
it.
racism.
That is it.
They're saying it's racism.
Well, it's the same. It's a 21st century of anti-affirmative action.
Yeah.
And
yes,
you know that
Okay.
Now you're discriminating against whites and making us feel bad or guilty or whatever.
Yeah.
And that rights are like pie, and there's only so many rights to go around. So if you take it away,
Rights are not
It's
like
a zero-sum game.
yeah.
No, she's explaining.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So if you give it to everybody, then somebody loses because there's so many people who already have rights.
It's nothing that, since we don't, nothing that we have to worry about.
No.
Okay.
And yet you will face it in the world.
Yeah, but it's nothing that we have to worry
No,
about
we don't.
institutionally at
Right,
Ward. We don't.
right.
It was explained to me, and actually by a person of color, that DEI feels racist to them because they don't want to be offered a job based on the color of their skin. Obviously, they want to earn it and have it be by merit. They don't want to face a workforce that thinks that all they did was get put into the position because of the color of their skin. And when it was explained to me from that side, I became a bit more sympathetic because I don't believe in reverse racism. But so anyway, I just wanted to offer that perspective because as somebody who is not a person of color, I feel like it's my job to sit and listen and understand when a person of color speaks. So I just wanted to offer that perspective. I am not a Republican, you know what I mean? Like that. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like,
You can stay on the board even if you are.
I'm just offering that some people of color are also speaking out, like, this doesn't feel good to us. This feels like another face of racism. And I know that liberals get accused of being very racist, right? Like Malcolm X came out and had a whole thing on that as well. So I just want to just offer that perspective that if the nomenclature is changing for a noble reason, that the radio station might want to consider to get on board. But if it's not for noble intent, then
No.
who cares? So
It's not.
I think it's important that we still call it DEI. Yes, Laura.
Okay.
The NFCB has some materials in there, that they offer to stations, to community stations. Maybe I can dig through a few of those and put them online for the board to look at. Best practices, that sort of thing. That sort of thing.
Okay. Okay. Anybody? Anything else? Okay. Jessica, is your hand still up, or do you have
No,
something?
I'll go find my phone.
Okay. Policies and bylaws did not meet because pledge drive, personnel. Anything you want to say about personnel?
I think the only thing to be aware of is we're beginning conversations about planning for next year's evaluation. We certainly don't want to interfere with pledge drive, but we do want to make it annual and what it might look like. We had nothing decided. Obviously, we're going to work with staff, Doug. Don't worry about that in the union. Probably a very similar peer evaluation. The self-evaluation we will, of course, want, since we are actually doing them annually, the staff person to reflect on whatever might be relevant from their last evaluation. Talked about possibly skipping the volunteer evaluation. Maybe we don't need to do that every year. It's a lot of asking repeatedly and, eventually getting in. The information's more valuable for some than others. For example, it was big news to me to find out that Shelley has like over 100 volunteers working for her, and others have like one or two. And so it was,
Good perspective.
Yes. Anyway, but nothing decided. I don't think there was anything else significant that we talked about.
Okay, thank you. Doug, regarding both the board staff retreat and the task force on the future, I have to apologize. I am so overwhelmed by trying to finish this book that I have very little bandwidth for anything else, including sleeping and eating. But the book is, I've got I should be done in 6 weeks. And when that is off my plate, I should be able to be more active and do these other initiatives that I outlined that I need to fulfill. So Doug and I will at some point get together and start talking seriously about putting that retreat together. Yeah, Doug.
Yeah, and just to report on staff progress with staff and board retreat. We have been working on a list of items, topics for discussion.
Oh, great.
And then I put this in a Excel spreadsheet. We're in the process now of each of the staff members rating the importance of what they feel each of those subjects are. So we can kind of prioritize what we would like to see discussed. And I think the other thing that we would need to, I think ahead of everything else, is possibly a quote from Jeff so that we can add it to the budget for 2025.
Jeff Burkhardt.
Yeah, and also to try and
Doc put it.
nail down a date. So
that to me,
yes, that's why I said it.
As soon as you can do it. Sue.
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't wait 6 weeks. It just
No. I can say I can put that in motion before.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, then I did propose the weekend of January 25th, 26th to
Right.
staff. It's a well ahead of any pledge drives. And it should be the best possible time that's upcoming. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
Okay, okay, that was. Give me that again. That was
125 and 126.
Okay, cool. Okay, so let's have people after this meeting check there, see if that's a weekend. I'll give that weekend to Jeff Burkhardt and see if we can at least.
it still works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I
Yeah.
can I ask, as a relatively new board member, is there a place I can go to educate myself on what we're trying to accomplish in the retreat, what we're doing and who's attending and okay.
That's what they're talking about,
Yeah.
figuring
Okay.
out.
Just exactly what we're doing?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It
Gotcha.
was just our sense that there was, there are aspects of the board staff relation and station operations that we need all to be more firmly on the same page on, and to make sure that lines of responsibility and lines of communication and lines of non-responsibility are mutually understood or universally understood. And just that general aspect of things.
Yeah.
That was I don't know if that was an adequate answer, but that's the best.
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
So it's an informal type of meeting, then it sounds like.
Well, it'll be
we're calling
formal.
it.
I mean, we're going to have we're going to have Jeff. The idea is to have Jeff Burkhardt, who used to run the Literacy Network and has done some programming here, and who now does board staff, institutional improvement stuff, be the
Gotcha.
facilitator, have an
Oh,
actual
okay.
outside facilitator to do it off premises, to do it as not an informal chat, to be a structured, here's what
Okay.
we're going to talk about, here are
That's
the
helpful.
deliverables. Yeah, to be an
Okay.
actual functional retreat where we
And hopefully by the end,
Yeah.
have some agreed upon
Mhm.
goals
Yeah.
or tasks
Yeah.
or both.
Yeah.
Accountability.
You know,
Yeah.
hopefully, I mean,
Yeah.
it goes well.
Yes.
yeah, that's the plan. Yes, Laura.
I wanted to offer to work with you when you're ready on the task force for the future.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And Julia, I'm hoping that you're going to also be,
Yes.
yes, and I'm hoping, Nicole, are you interested I think you're interested in that as well, the task force in the
Yes.
future? Excellent, because we need people who are going to be here in the future.
Man.
Okay, let me get back to the agenda. Does anybody have, we need a brief closed session.
Okay, my only question before we get to that,
Yeah.
is there anything to report on the 50th anniversary
Oh,
planning?
no, because due to the pledge drive, I think we may have had one meeting since the last board meeting, but we did not meet this last week. The one thing that's really up in the air is whether or not we do a book, which had been a working assumption, but frankly, Mike Connor asked the question in the last meeting, exactly why are we doing this book? Who is this book for? And as somebody who writes history books, I was taken aback and was like, yeah, is this really a high priority? Or as a radio station, do we have a higher priority of advancing the website, advancing something electronic?
Do a book digitally on the website.
Yeah, and the whole book thing is now back up in the, is this really, I was hoping to have an idea from Barbara Bolin about what kind of revenue we could potentially raise by selling advertising. I thought I was going to have that by today, but he wasn't able to do it. But the whole idea of a printed book is now back up for
reasonable to think about.
Yeah. And we've still got big ambitions. But there's but Aaron is leading that, and he was pretty I mean, everyone's been pretty overstretched for the last month, but we're hoping to have more. We'll have more at the next meeting.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for the update. Appreciate it.
Oh, and Phil wants to be on that task force as well. Absolutely, yeah. If no one has any other questions or comments, I want to just go into closed session briefly just to talk about this other matter.
It was in Aaron's report that we accepted. I did find it.
What?
Do you think we still need to do a closed session?
I think we do.
You do?
Very briefly,
It was obscure enough in the report.
A very brief one. And Doug, just so you know, it's
I already know the matter, and there's no reason to exclude me from this closed session.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It does not have to do with contract negotiations or a personnel matter in the staff. This has to do with
no. My comments were going to have to do with personnel.
In support of, probably.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that to be true, but I already know the situation that you're going to bring up.
Yeah. The problem. Okay. Well, if we don't, is Dave still among?
Still closed session, Stu.
No, we haven't gone into closed
session. That happens
session.
in this meeting, and it does not affect me directly.
No, it's just that whether we want to pause.
I just want
that kind of thing.
I just want to see.
Yeah, Dave's out.
Okay, then.
We know we got to do a round robin.
No,
Are you thinking about it?
I'm thinking about it, with only board members on this, at this point, but I don't want it in the minutes
And not in the recording.
and not in the
Yeah, you
recording.
need to stop recording.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm taking it
Yeah.
off. Here we go.
Motion to stop recording and go into closed session.
Wait, it's,
Second.
Okay.
Well, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna go close
Not
session.
doing closed
We're
session. You
just
need
gonna
a
stop recording.
Yep.
roll call vote for.
No, we're not going to
Recording
close
is
session, I'm just gonna
ending.
stop
Marty
recording.
could